Ladies and gentlemen, the Demons have told Clayton Oliver that his services are no longer required and to explore a trade elsewhere. Should Collingwood consider this out of favour D? It's time to talk all things black and white. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's an interesting one, and I know there's going to be some discourse around this name with regards to his off-field issues that he's had, and I'm here before you say age, I'm here before you say he's washed, but let's just look at this with an open mind for a moment. So let's start with the announcement. Sam Edmund reports Melbourne is willing to pay as much as $700,000, which is just over half of Oliver's contract per year for the next 5 years in any trade. The Demons today called him to a meeting to sell him a role change, expecting him to reject it. His days as an inside mid at Melbourne are over. And this was after a meeting with Stephen King from the D's, the newly appointed coach. Where do we start? There's a lot to unpack here. Let's talk about what Collingwood need right now and what we've been stressed over the last couple of weeks. We have been toying with the idea of, okay, what can Perryman do as an inside mid? Can he emulate that of Josh Dunkley? Can Di Mattia break out? Does Ed Allen have the capacity to build on the year he had, albeit I'd say relatively disappointing, I would say. I think I was hoping for a bit more from Ed Allen, who is an inside midfielder playing as a winger for the first team. So, yeah, you keep in mind that he's playing a role that just isn't what Ed Allen thrives in or thrives on. Clayton Oliver, 29 years old next year, an out-and-out inside midfielder who you could pair along with Nick Dacos. You got Geordie DeGoey there. You got Ned Long, and that's going to be a big piece of this conversation with Ned Long. For me, guys, I feel like Ned Long is okay. I would say if you compare Ned Long versus Clayton Oliver right now, I'm taking Clayton Oliver. That doesn't go without saying that Ned Long simply makes way and plays VFL next season if Clayton Oliver was to be there. It'd be similar to Stephen May and the Billy Frampton discussion. I'm saying, Clary, it's you versus Ned. Simple as. Maybe we throw in Harry Perryman there. I like that. I really do. Tom Mitchell's on his way out, okay? So just think of it like this. You bring in Clayton Oliver, who the D's are offering to pay as much as $700,000, and that's a starting point, okay? So he's earning like 1.3 a year, which is crazy. So they need to offload this. This is a debacle for the D's. It's similar to the Treloar, the Brodie Grundy, the Stevensons of times gone by at the Collingwood Football Club. So the leverage is on our club side to make this contract as auspicious as possible and work in our favour as much as possible. And he's currently got another 5 years on contract. So 29 takes him 34. What I'm asking you is, would you consider Clayton Oliver a proven inside mid who has All-Australian calibre, who has a premiership medallion hanging around his neck, who's had 2 consistent years since having off-field issues, and maybe the third year is the one where he can take it to the next level where he has been previously? At $600K a year over 5 years, I don't think that's too bad. And then you look at what's on the trade table. Well, once again, if Melbourne are wanting to offload, I'd be bullish that Collingwood could offer a late second rounder. I don't know about a third rounder. I can't tell you that with great certainty that that's what would be on table, but I think a late second rounder would do the job. And when we're stressing about looking internally, trying to promote a player to establish themselves as an inside mid, and the options are bleak, and then this name is thrown across your table first thing in the morning, I genuinely don't mind the idea. He's consistent. He played 22 games this year. He played 21 last year. not getting the same coaches' votes, not getting the same Brownlow votes, but hey, you come to the Collingwood Football Club, we just ask you to play a role. We're not fussed about all that extra stuff. We really aren't. And I'll say this, for any player who's had trouble on field, off field, you come to the Collingwood Football Club, you're going to immerse yourself in this culture and become a better person and a better player. Put him next to Nick Dacos. Let Clayton Oliver to be the guy who is that wombat, the Tom Mitchell of time gone by, and feed it out to Nick Dacos. Has a bit more speed than Tom Mitchell. Yes, he's not the greatest kick, but neither is Ned Long. I just don't know if Ned Long can be that guy for 24 games plus a final series. It's been inconsistent. Yes, he's young. Yes, he's been a tick. But I think what's a little bit of healthy competition to do? Is it going to cause any harm? I don't know where I see the risk. If you're asked to pay $600 a year, 5 years is a long duration, taking him to 34. But he's as far as his age is concerned, he's in the prime of his career. A new environment change can mean the world. We've seen that happen time and time again. If you want to talk of recent times, Billy Frampton, Lipinski, Mitchell, Bobby Hill, Membry, Markov, Ned Long, when they come from one club to the next, being the Collingwood Football Club, their life changes. Their performances go up. So I think there needs to be some serious consideration around this one, and a date must be put in place. They must schedule a date between Fly and Clary. Let's have a look at some of the comments to see what the feedback is here. This is insane list management strategy. Okay. I think there was one about pairing him with Nick Dacos, and I know the feedback won't be great, but let's have a look. If you were building around Nick Dacos, does having Clayton around him help? Potentially it does. I think it does. It won't be part of the Myercheck deal, but I imagine it could be part of the Stephen May deal. Him and Ned Long, they're not going to be playing in the same side, are they? But then you start to think, okay, you put Stephen May and Clayton Oliver in a deal, and then you send a second and third or something along those lines and get the deal done, and then and pay as little of their contract as possible and force Melbourne to keep them on their total player payment salary cap for as long as possible. So that's what it sounds like they're willing to do. I think take the opportunity where we don't have access to picks, where we don't have access to free agents this year. I genuinely do not mind this option. I'm curious to get your thoughts in the comment section. Let's start the chat. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, go Pies.